Hello. So I hope everybody's doing well today. We're just going to give a few minutes for everyone to settle in. I know that the first webinar that I scheduled for yesterday actually surprisingly went pretty well and ended up filling up. So apologies to those people who registered for the Wednesday webinar, but it filled up. And I'm very sorry if you ended up going to the one on Wednesday. But like I said, you know how things go, software glitches and how everything else goes with that. So thank you for coming today. In the next 20 or 30 minutes or so, I'm actually going to show you how to generate more leads using what you already have. So what's already available to you. So your listing pages. Most of you already have social media. You already have Facebook and Instagram and all these other things. So I'm actually going to show you how to generate more leads using what you already have available to you. Now, this will actually work with spending less money. So this clearly is about Facebook, which let me open that up for you. Uh, Most of us here are spending money on Zillow or Realtor.com or something like that. So what I'm actually going to show you is how to do this, but spending less than you do on Zillow. So most of us spend maybe 200 hours a month on Zillow. And what do we get? 2, 3 leads, something, so not much. And so um, what a lot of people realize is that you can spend, say, 200 hours a month and generate much more than 2 to 3 leads. So the last realtor that I was working with actually generates anywhere from 5 to 10 leads a month just from Facebook ads. So now don't forget, at the end of this webinar, I'm also going to show you an insider secret that I use to get more Facebook likes for free. So it's actually for free. It's kind of an insider secret that a lot of us have used. When I say us, I mean professional marketers and people who do this every day. And not a lot of people know about this, so it's an insider secret that I'm actually going to show you how to get more Facebook likes for free. So make sure you stick around for that. First off, though, I'd like to say, I know are distractions all around us, but the strategy I'm about to share could legitimately change your business as a real estate agent or broker. I don't want you to miss a single crucial step here. So please, please just make commitment to stay focused. It's if you could just close out of Facebook, stop checking email, turn off your phone. If you could give me your complete attention, that would be awesome, because this is for you. This is for you. And the reason that I'm even doing this webinar is because I've worked with so many realtors and brokers and things like that, that this was actually a highly requested, it was a presentation. I still give the presentation, but it's a highly requested presentation. And so I thought to myself, maybe it should be a webinar. So, but first, I just want to talk a little bit about myself. You're probably wondering, who is this guy? Why does he do this? So again, my name is Cory Wolff. You could go to my website if you like, corywolff.biz. I'm a technologist, which just means I'm a computer nerd. I'm a marketer. I built my first website and started marketing when I was 15. I'm 34 now, so almost 20 years of digital marketing. I'm also a real estate investor. I actually just closed on another property yesterday, which was kind of funny. It was listed for $45,000, foreclosure, of course. It was listed for $45,000. We put in an offer of $52,000, expecting, this is going to be a bidding war. But we put in an offer of $52,000. We closed on a house. Not close. The house is under contract. We were surprised. We couldn't believe that we actually got it for $52,000. Market value and the comps and everything else are around 100, 110. So, and it barely needs any work. It just needs paint and to be cleaned up a bit. So pretty ecstatic about that. Real estate investor. I right now currently have 4 properties. with more on the way I buy, sell, do all that good stuff. So if you want to learn more about me, just go ahead and go to my website, corywolff.biz. Not right now. Keep your attention here because this is super important. But what I want to do is I want you to imagine, right? So imagine what your business would be like if you could generate 5, 10, 15, maybe even 20 more leads per month without buying anything new or setting up new websites or new social media or doing any of that. What if you could generate 5, 10, 15, 20 more leads a month with what you already have? Can you see it? Would that make things better for you? I know that would make things better for me. And it certainly made things better for my wife, who's actually a real estate agent. And so, you know, that's really what it boils down to: using what you already have to generate more leads. So let's get into it, right? So why Facebook? Why do we want to use Facebook? Who cares? So Facebook has over 1 billion users, as we all know. It's the most popular social network in the world. But from an ads perspective, and as a realtor and someone who would be purchasing ads on Facebook, the super important things here is that it has a laser focused targeting. So we can do crazy things when it comes to actually targeting people, you know, prospective leads, clients, buyers, things like that. It also has a pretty high return on investment. So like I mentioned before, we can actually spend the same amount or less than we do on Zillow and get more leads, right? It's not crazy. We can do this. We want to talk about the lead life cycle. So what is the lead life cycle? So it comes down to 3 things: traffic, capture, close, right? So that's basically what it comes down to. We drive traffic to a lead capture page, and then we close them. So we do outreach, we talk to them, we call them, we email them, however we contact them, but we actually close the deal. So as a realtor, you already have 2 out of these 3 things ready to go. You already have listing pages. You already have websites. If not, get in touch and I can help you out with that. But you already have these things, and you already know how to close, right? So the hard part here is actually driving traffic. That's the hard part. And once we figure that part out, that's when things really start to open up and things really, you know, start to catch fire, and we start to generate leads and we start to close sales. But first, you know, this is basically how we're going to spend less than we do on Zillow and get more leads. We need to talk about different types of traffic. There's cold traffic, there's warm traffic, there's hot traffic. Cold traffic is advertising. So in the case of Facebook, Zillow, or you know, somebody, a walk-in comes into the office. You just happen to be the one on the floor. You know, that's cold traffic. They don't know too much about you. They just know that you're a realtor, blah, blah, blah. Warm traffic is referrals, social media followers, someone who clicks something in one of your email blasts. That's warm traffic. They've already been introduced to you. They already know who you are. They know, you know, that maybe they know some of the same people as you. You know, in the case of referrals, you know, maybe their brother bought a property from you or listed his house with you. That's warm traffic. Hot traffic is if somebody walked in with, you know, a $200,000 cashier's check and said, "Let's buy this property that you have listed right here." Very, very rarely happens. So when we drive traffic, we need to know who we're talking to. We need to know what their wants are. We need to know what their needs are. And to do this, we actually create what's called a buyer avatar. So our buyer avatar is actually, you know, who's the ideal client for that specific. So let's use a listing, right? Let's say you have a listing. And where I live in a place called the Poconos, which is about 2 hours from New York, 2 hours from Philly. So we get a lot of recreational housing. We get a lot of people who worked in the city forever. They retired. They want to come out to the country. They want to come out to the mountains and the lakes. So I live in a recreational area called the Poconos, and we're real close to big cities. So a lot of times with with our listings, that is who our target is. Our target is typically someone who was in the daily grind, so-called daily grind for 30, 40, 50 years, and they're ready to get away. And so if we have a particular listing, let's say we have a listing where, it's a high commission for us, or, it's a big asking price, and we decide we want to put some money behind this listing and put up a Facebook ad for it. What we want to do is create what's called a buyer avatar. So this is basically your target audience. So what you do is, you just sit down, you look at the listing, and you kind of decide who would be the target audience here. So a lot of times, going back to the Poconos where I live, a lot of times people want to go fishing, or hunting is big here, or some people want to be lake so they can just go out their front door and hop in the boat and go for a ride around the lake. So for each particular listing, we want to create a buyer avatar. So let's say, for example, that it's a cabin out in the woods, which is perfect for a hunter, right? So we sit down, we look at the listing, and we write out a few topics about our target audience. So again, going to the Poconos, New York, New Jersey, Philadelphia, real close. So a buyer avatar for, say, the cabin in the woods is Jersey Mike. Here's New Jersey Mike. It's fun to put little names on them because it kind of helps them stick in your head and you remember them a little better. So it's a little goofy, but it's good to give them names. So for our cabin in the woods in the Poconos, we're going to use New Jersey Mike. He's 35 years old. He has 2 kids. He's from New York or New Jersey area. He makes over $100K a year, which, let's say maybe that's a sort of requirement for the asking price that we have for this particular property. So we know that, maybe the property's $250,000. We know that, someone who makes 50 grand a year isn't going to be able to make that, right? It's just, he's not going to be able to pay that kind of house. And New Jersey Mike loves to hunt. So this is where it all starts, because if we sit down, we look at this listing, we get an idea of who the ideal client is. When we go to make our Facebook ad, we have a much better idea, and we've basically already done all of the work, right? So when we actually go in to create the ad, we've done most of the work already. So that's important. So now that we have New Jersey Mike, we're going to create an ad, and again, this is for a listing. This where we're trying to sell this particular property that we already have. Now, if you're trying the holy grail of leads, which are seller leads, that's another topic. But you can do very similar things with Facebook ads. You can do, of course, a free CMA or different offers like that to try and get seller leads in. I actually cover that in my course, which I offer. But for now, we're going to work on getting listing leads, buyer leads for our particular listing. So what we want to do is stay away, please, please stay away from boosted posts. Let's just look at one. Let me go to one here. So this is actually a client of mine. Century. No, I don't want to go to that one. Where's if we go and we look. Of course, my computer goes really slow right now. But if we look, we do not want to do boosted posts. A number of reasons. but primarily because we don't have the specific type of targeting options if we were to actually use Facebook Ads Manager, which I'll get into in 1 second. But here's actually a client of mine that we work with, and you can see they're doing pretty well here. You know, I've worked with them, and we've really narrowed it down. We've shown them the specifics of how to be consistent on social media, how to grow, and they're killing it. I mean, they do so well, all because, you know, they basically followed what I showed them and how I showed them to do it. Neither here nor there. But let's go find a listing. And what we're actually going to do is I'll actually create a particular ad using their website, using one of their listings as an example. I don't really like that house, so I'm not I'm not going to do it. Where's a nice one? Let's find a nice one. This one's half decent. I guess we'll do this. So this is in Lackawaxen. So let's see. Okay. So let's say, for example, this is in Mast Hope Mountain, which is kind of a community. In the Poconos, there's lots of communities. It's like pretty much, it's not that it's hard to find one that's not in a community, but you know, most of the listings are in communities. This particular community is kind of out in the sticks. It's out there. It's by the Delaware River. So there's a lot of hunters that like to go out here. They actually have a ski slope, which is pretty cool. But we're going to use this as a example here. Again, do not use boosted posts. You see how it's here? Don't do it. No way. Stay away. Okay. So let's actually get into like the meat and potatoes of how we do this. So go back to thinking of traffic capture close. So in this case, our capture is actually our listing page. That's it. You see it right here. Request a showing, call, you know, all the stuff. This is our capture page. Most of us, our brokers or our companies, whoever we're working with, has already set us up with this. You know, the agents don't set this web page up, right? This is the broker doing all this for them, which 99% of us, I mean, I hope you have a listing page with the contact, I hope. But pretty much we all have this. So if we go back to traffic capture close, the hard part is driving the traffic. Okay. So now if we go back and we think about New Jersey Mike, let's create an ad to actually push that to him. So for most of us, if you just go to Facebook, and where's it at here? If you just click on the left, that'll take you to Ads Manager. Now I have a bunch of ads. Some of you might have actually even seen them. But what we're going to want to do is up here, click Create. And so what this is going to do, this is going to actually bring us to the ad creation process. So what we're going to want to do here is, again, we're going to stay away from boosted posts. And what we're going to do is we're going to use a clicks to website objective. So if we go back to Ads Manager, now there's a couple different things. This is how often they switch, but what this is actually called now is called traffic. So it's the traffic objective, right? So if we click that, let's give it a name. This streaming, it's really slowing down my computer, so apologies. Hopefully it loads soon. But while we're waiting for this, hopefully it hurries up. Let's just refresh. Let's see if that helps. I'm not sure why this is doing this, but okay, here we go. Here we go. Let's try this again. So traffic. Here we go. Yes. We're going to give it a name. So that was in Mast Hope. So we're just going to call it Mast Hope Country house. So what we're actually doing here is we're creating a campaign for the Mass Hope Country House using the traffic objective. Just click continue. Now a bunch of different options are going to come up, but most importantly, what you want to look at is right here, our audience. Right, there's our audience. And this is the real, this is it right here. This is the real deal, right? So if we go back and look at New Jersey Mike, we're going to say he's at least 35 years old, right? He's from New York, New Jersey, makes over 100,000 a year, loves to hunt. Okay, so let's go back. This is our audience. This is who we actually target. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the location, right? So let's go ahead and put New Jersey in. There we go. Go ahead and put New York in. Okay, that's good. All right. So now we know from our buyer avatar that he's at least 35. So when we go to age, let's go ahead and select 35. Okay, so now we're targeting people who live in New Jersey and New York who are, who are at least 35 years old. Now we can really start to get into specifics. So if we go, and we said before he makes at least $100,000 a year, we can actually target by, here we go. We can actually target by their income. So let's actually go to browse, demographics. Here we go. Demographics, financial, income. So here we can actually select people. So we know he makes at least $100,000 a year. So we're going to click that. So this actually only applies to outside of the US. So I don't know if you guys saw that, but because of the whole Facebook thing, in what's called GDPR, Facebook had to remove some options. But luckily, in the US, they didn't actually pass that GDPR. So this is actually only for outside of the US, which is okay for us. So let's go back to browse again. So now we know that it's not going to be just people that are 100 to 124, 25 to 149, let's say 150 to 249. Now, do we think that someone who makes 250 to 349 a year is going to be interested in this house? Maybe yes, maybe no. I'll say yes. But my point being here is, don't put millionaires. Don't put people over 500,000 because someone 500,000 probably going to be buying, a $1 million house or something like that. So that's not really our target audience, right? So now we're targeting people in New York, New Jersey, over 35 that make at least $100,000 a year, between 100,000 and 349. So now we're cooking with gas, right? We're doing pretty good. Go back to New Jersey Mike, and we can actually, we know that he likes to hunt, right? So what do hunters like? What are some things that hunters like? So do hunters like Cabela's? Okay, they do like, yeah. So we're now targeting people who like Cabela's. So what about, what's another hunting thing? Realtree, right? Realtree Outdoors. Here we go. Let's see, sometimes hunting interest. So 141 million. Now this is nationally, but million. And so right now, our estimated reach is between 2,800 and 17,000 people a day, right? That's spending 20 bucks. So we could get much more specific, but for like a listing, I don't think necessarily should. You should start with their location, their age, their income, and then associated interests. So if it's a hunting cabin, make sure you put hunting, Cabela's, outdoor type stuff related to hunting. So that's what we're doing right now. Targeting New York, New Jersey, over 35, make at least 100K, and like hunting. So remember I said before, Facebook has a high laser focused targeting. And this is what I mean. So now we're actually going to go. For listing pages, would keep automatic placements. You can edit placements, which means if you click that, you can actually select where the ad goes. So if you wanted to remove Instagram, you could remove Instagram, things like that. Most of the time, I leave this go though. I wouldn't really mess with it. But if you decide that you don't want to use certain areas, when you're in your ads manager, go ahead and check that out. But for now, I'm gonna keep automatic placements. So remember I said you could spend less than you do on Zillow, right? So right here is where we actually set our budget. So right now, by default, it has a $20 daily budget, right? I'm going to change that to $5. So let's see. We change that. Now we're only spending $5 a day, and this ad is going to run in all of these different places. It's going to run on Instagram. It's going to run, an audio network, which sometimes you see like when you're browsing websites on your phone. It's going to show up in people's messenger inbox, as you can see from the example on the right. Of course, it's going to show up on Facebook, in the feeds, in the articles, everywhere for $5 a day. So that's $150 a month if you do $5 a day. You're more than welcome to add more if you like. But, for only $5 a day, $150 a month, you can drive anywhere from 2,800 to 17,000 people a day to your landing page, which is kind of crazy. Now, full disclaimer, sometimes these numbers are way off. But what you can know is that the bottom number will pretty much always be good. It's very rare that you actually reach, the high of that estimate. Very rare, but you will almost always reach that minimum number. So for $5 a day, you'll pretty much always reach at least 2,800 people a day. Crazy, right? And we start to get into some other things here. Optimization for ad delivery. This can change, but again, for listing, you're going to want to stick with landing page views, because Facebook will actually optimize this ad to get people to go to that landing page. So you might be thinking, well, why don't they all? Well, it really depends on the algorithm, right? But Facebook will use their algorithm to specifically target people who are most likely to click and go to your listing page. And they learn this. So the more clicks you get, the more people that go to your listing page, the more Facebook learns, and the more Facebook actually starts to super target that specific audience. It gets pretty crazy at times. But we're going to keep this for landing page views. So if we click continue, this is where we actually create the ad. Right, so identity, hopefully you have a Facebook page, but identity, we're going to want to just select our Facebook page here. In this case, it's probably a realtor page. And what we're going to start with is we're going to actually click this. All right, copy. We're going to copy this URL. We're going to scroll down and we're going to click this. Paste it in that box. So oh, I probably hit the wrong thing. Oh, yeah, here we go. Go back. Here we go. So now this is talking about landing page views, but kind of super advanced, which again, this I go over in my course. But for now, we're just going to drive traffic. That's really all we're worried about. So here's a preview of our ad on the right, and we can actually change and edit what this says, right? So, you know, if we go back to New Jersey Mike, you know, we might say something like perfect hunter's paradise, right? And it's in Mast Hope, so amenity build Mast Hope community, right? So here's our ad on the right. Boom, right? So now we can actually continue to edit this. So if you see where it says headline, we can write something like perfect for hunters. And on the right here, it'll actually say that, perfect for hunters. So super powerful. Well, I just want to stop. I want to make sure that you understand what we just did. What we just did. Go back, traffic, capture, close. You have capture, you have close, you figure out traffic. What we just did was we hyper-targeted someone in New York or New Jersey who loves to hunt, who makes at least $100,000 a year. We just targeted them, and we can now drive traffic to our listing pages using Facebook ads. At this point, you're pretty much good to go. You don't need to mess with any other stuff. You just click confirm. I'm not going to do it right now, but you click confirm, and your ad will actually pop up. There's one other quick thing I want to talk about with Facebook ads is working with traditional marketing. So I just want an example here. Well, first I'd rather talk about, you know, the actual ad copy, right? Which we went over all this, right? So we want to remember our buyer avatar, right? We want to highlight key points. Sometimes if we have the listing images, we can actually create what's called a carousel image. So if we just look back, so if you see right now, our ad is just one picture. But if we were to add multiple pictures, we can actually show the highest, you know, the best images for that particular listing. We can show a number of them all there, which, let's see, Facebook might even actually auto-generate some for us. Kind of. But, you know, you can actually do carousel ads where it shows a number of different images, right? But like I said, first, I want to talk about working with traditional marketing. So, for example, my wife did direct mail pieces. She actually, you know, had postcards made, did all that good stuff, and did direct mail with the goal of getting more listing leads by the lake, right? So we live by a pretty big lake that a lot of these people from New York and New Jersey come to, right? So I actually want to talk about this real quick. So now if we go back to our audience, and we're trying to actually get listing leads, and we send out direct mail, or even if it's not direct mail, say you put an ad in the newspaper, or say that you know, have ads at the local grocery store, or whatever it is. You have some sort of traditional marketing going on. You know where that is going. So in the case of direct mail, we know that we wanted to target specific areas. We want to target people actually by the lake. So if we want to get, you know, our goal is to get big listings, of course, keep this, right? We would probably remove these because all we want to do is target all people in a certain area. So with direct mail, you send out to a certain zip code or whatever it is, but you can actually target by zip code. So if you have people in a certain zip code receiving your direct mail, you can then also serve a Facebook ad to them with the current offer. So if you're sending out direct mail that says, come get a free CMA, you can then, in conjunction with that direct mail piece, actually serve Facebook ads to them just by putting in their zip code. How crazy is that? How crazy is that? So if you send out direct mail to all these zip codes, you can then also serve a Facebook ad. This becomes so powerful. This is how it's done, right? We all know about brand recognition and all that, and this is how you do it. This is how you work traditional marketing with the tools and the power that we are provided, that are provided to us today. So now I just put in one zip code. I can't remember what the other zip code is. I think it's 18436, maybe. I think that's it. Is that it? That's one of them. Yeah. So we can put in the zip codes that go around the lake, right? So not only did they get your 4-section direct mail piece, now they got your direct mail, and when they're on Facebook and Instagram, they're getting the same offer. It's crazy. It's crazy powerful. It's it's super powerful. This particular presentation is why it was requested so much, just from the fact of the targeting that we can do, to the way that we can work with traditional marketing. This is why all these companies keep asking me to come back and give this presentation, because a lot of real estate agents just don't understand what they can actually accomplish with Facebook ads, simply Facebook ads. It's crazy. It's crazy. So just understand what we did there, what we did. We covered, how to spend less than you do on Zillow and get more leads. So like I said, a realtor that I work with spends about $5 a day. He gets anywhere from 5 to 10 leads a month through his Facebook ads, and he spends, I think he spends $250 on Zillow, and he gets 2, maybe 3. It's crazy. So what we covered was how to actually spend less than you do on Zillow and get more leads. We also covered how to scale what you already have. So you already have your listing pages. That's the listing pages are actually the hard part most of the time for people, but you already have them done, which is great. Traffic, capture, close, right? And then we also covered how to work with traditional marketing. And let me do this, because what did we do? We learned how to target our ideal client, right? That's what we did. New Jersey Mike, with that particular listing, was our ideal client, and we learned how, through hyper targeting with Facebook ads, how to reach him and get more leads for our listing pages. So what I want to say, though, is that this is just the beginning, right? This is just the beginning. We go back to traffic, capture, close, right? The real question is, you have capture and close, you just need the traffic. And with your current resources, all you need to do is work on the traffic. So the question is, how do we generate traffic? How do we generate traffic to capture our leads and to close our leads? We generate traffic by, one, in-person marketing referrals, but we also generate traffic through social media. I want to tell you a quick story. I want to tell you a real quick story. So we actually saw a house in Mast Hope. I worked with a real estate company, and one of their agents was a super high closer. I mean, this guy, he had like 2, 3, 4, 5 closings a week. Like, this guy is just killing it. And what he did was he farmed a particular community, and he had that community on lockdown for years, but I'd say maybe a decade, right? A real long time. It was him. You bought or you sold in that community, Mike was the guy you talked to. And he worked in this office. Excuse me. He worked in this office. It was a client of mine, and he was just so against it. I mean, the way that he did things worked. He went into the office every day. He made his calls every day. He did what he did, and the way that he had done it for 10 years worked. And I was working with the company where he was an agent, and he was so against it. He said, "I don't need Facebook. I don't need this. I don't need social media." Blah blah. So he actually said this at an awards dinner, and I kind of he didn't look at me, but he was like, "Yeah, I don't need Facebook. I don't need social media." This was maybe 2 years ago, and you know what happened this year? He started to lose business in a place where he was the go-to real estate agent. He's losing business. I drove through that community the other day, and I've seen 4, 5, 6 different realtors with their signs, their for sale signs and all that, and that had never happened before. And what they're using the power of social media and Facebook ads to actually get listings and make sales in that community that was dominated by one agent for so long. And you know what he said? You know what he said to his broker, maybe a month ago? He said, yeah, I think we should probably be doing some social media stuff. And she said, "Oh, Mike, I know this is what we've been doing. You wouldn't, you didn't want a Facebook page. You didn't want to do it. And now look what happened." It's kind of a real bummer. But my point being is that Facebook ads are just the beginning, right? Social media is how you actually build a targeted following online. It's how you create a memorable brand so people remember you. So when it comes time for them to list their house, they go, "Hey, I know Cory, blah, blah, blah," because you're on social media, you're active, right? This social media is how you generate more buying and listing leads, right? Buyers aren't, looking at the sales sheets in the window anymore. Maybe once in a while there's someone walking by, right? Buyers aren't going through, the real estate, I forget what it's called, but the magazine with all the listings in it anymore. Buyers and sellers find their real estate agent and find their next using social media and online properties. So, like I said, Facebook ads is just the beginning. So the reason why I'm asking is I want to know who wants to take it to the next level, right? Who wants to really start to just grow online, create a following, get more likes, get more followers? Who wants to do that? The reason I'm asking is because I have taken over almost 20 years of digital marketing experience, and I've actually put that into a course for real estate. This course is everything that I have learned over the past 20 years, specifically put together for real estate agents. In this course, I teach you how to build a targeted following online. I teach you how to create a memorable brand. Even more importantly, before I talked about how to actually get listing leads, in the course, I actually talk about, how to get listing leads, stuff like retargeting. So all of us have seen retargeting. You go on eBay or Amazon and you look at a product, say you looked at a pair of shoes on Amazon, and next thing you know, you're on Facebook and that pair of shoes pops up. That's called retargeting. So I actually go over that in my course. But how to become an advertising ninja, how to drive or how to generate more buying and listing leads. And the number one thing that my course teaches you is how to drive traffic to your listing and lead capture pages, right? So I just want you to think about it. There should be a link down below for more info. It's up to you to check it out. But again, this is just the beginning, right? It's just the beginning. What I showed you today can already generate 5, 10, 15, 20 more leads per month. If you really want to step it up and you really want to grow, this is how you do it. My course, it covers a bunch of things, but it does have 7 modules with over 40 video lessons. These are all the things that I actually do for my clients, and I teach you how to do these things. I know what works. I know what doesn't. I'm testing new things every day. So it includes 7 modules with over 40 video lessons, which, I've already, I actually add new components and new modules, pretty much every week or so. I add something new. Also in the course, you get 4 weekly check-in calls. So you can actually call me once a week and ask me whatever questions you want. Hey, Cory, what do you think I should do farming out this area? Hey, how do I get more followers on Instagram? You can ask me whatever you want. That's typically, a $400 value. You get 4 weekly check-in calls, 1 hour long calls. You get 4, and that's included. I'll actually build your first ad. Yeah, I said it. I will actually build your first ad for you. This is something usually on a per ad basis. It's about $197 just to do. In my course, because I want you to succeed, I will actually build your first ad for you. It's crazy. It's crazy. The reason, it's just crazy. I'll also include 1 free images for social media. So these are actually 1,000 images that you can use to post on social media. There's, so many times it's like, oh man, I don't know what to post, or I don't have pictures, or where do I find pictures, or what do I do? This solves your problem, right? This can actually be, so that's 1,000 images. That's about 1,000 days worth of social media content for you. I know. So, you get the 7 modules with over 40 video lessons. You get 4 weekly check-in calls. I'll actually build your first ad, and you also get 1,000 free images for social media. I also include my roadmaps, my cheat sheets, my swipe files. So these are the things that I actually use with clients that I use myself, so that they work. I actually use it myself. So for example, content calendar, when you actually plan out your next month of content on social media, the right way to do it is you plan out 30 days ahead of your content. And the way that I actually do that, and the way that the professionals actually do it, is through what's called a content calendar. So you sit down and you decide, are there any holidays coming up? Are there any special events coming up? And you plan out your next week or 30 days of content, and you put it into a content calendar so you can actually plan it out, and you're not worrying on a Tuesday. Oh no, what do I do? I don't know what to do. So this is a content calendar. It's plug and play. You sit down, you put it in, and you're good to go. You can print it out, and you already know what to do. So you get 7 modules, over 40 video lessons, the 4 weekly check-in calls. I will build your first ad, 1,000 days of social media content. All my roadmaps, cheat sheets, and swipe files are included. This is a total value of over $3,100. This is easily over $3,100. If all this did was get you 2 leads a month, would it be worth it? I'm just saying, just wondering. If all this did was get you more followers, would it be worth it? I think it might. This is all a value of over $3,100, right? Which, because I'm in real estate, and because I've worked with so many agents, because my wife is an agent, I have this for a short time for $9.97. That's it. $9.97. And over $3,100 value for only $9.97. And this is only for a short time. And like I said, this is the reason I can't even believe I'm doing it so cheap. But again, I know the struggle. My wife's a realtor. I'm in real estate. I've worked with hundreds of real estate agents, and I want you to succeed, right? This is only going to help you. You know, if you don't do it, yeah, sure, maybe you'll do fine. You know, if you don't do it, I'm still going to be buying properties. I'm still going to be working with, with real estate companies and brokers. I'm still going to do it. But I just want you to know that this is for you. This is how you actually grow on social media. This is how you actually run a business on social media, is through social media for real estate. It is hand-picked topics, tailored content just for you as a real estate agent. Just for you as a real estate agent. And if you're interested, there's a button down below. Or if not, if you need the link, just send me something in chat or email me if you can't find the link for whatever reason. But this is for you for only $9.97. So one more time, what did we cover today? We covered how to spend less than you do on Zillow and get more leads. We covered how to scale what you already have using your current listing pages, how to work with traditional marketing. So if you're farming an area and sending out direct mail, you can actually target those same people. And we learned how to target our ideal client, someone in our case who is over 35, makes at least $100,000 a year, lives in New York, New Jersey, and likes to hunt. We targeted that specific person because it was a listing for a cabin out in the woods. So we covered a lot. We covered a lot. But like I said, this is just the beginning. With the course, like I said, it has all been tested. This is what I know works from working with hundreds of agents and dozens of real estate companies. 7 modules, 40 video lessons, 4 weekly 1-hour check-in calls. I'll build your first ad for you. I give you 1,000 days of social media content. I give you all the roadmaps, cheat sheets, and swipe files that I use myself, all included in this course. Total value of over $3,100. I'm doing it for $9.97. So I hope you learned a lot today in this course or webinar. I hope that you go forward and you use the power of Facebook ads and their targeting to generate more buying leads, more listing leads. And I hope that this was helpful. If you have any questions about anything, whether it's about the course or you just, you have any questions about what we covered today, please send me an email and we can talk. Again, I really hope that you take advantage of this offer. Everything's gonna I'm gonna still be working with companies and brokers and agents, whether or not you do this. This is for you. This is really for you. And don't be like Mike, who had a farmed area that he controlled for almost a decade and then lost it because he didn't use social media. He didn't use it. Please don't. Please, I'm just telling you now, check out the course. It's the $9.97 is a super limited offer. I'm only doing this for a short time. It's kind of an introductory offer, but I sincerely hope that you take advantage of it. Any questions or anything, the button to get to the course should be down below. Any questions or anything, just shoot me an email and we'll talk. I hope you had a good time. I tried to keep it, I thought it was only going to take 30 minutes, but it actually ended up taking 55, I think. I appreciate you sticking around with me. There is one more thing that I would like to show you, sort of an insider secret. Of how to get more Facebook likes for free. So I showed you how to actually create an ad. So as we know, when we create this ad, people are going to like it or react to it and things like that. So what this is called is, this is actually called in. And if when you run an ad, you'll see that a whole bunch of people will actually sign up, will actually like your post, right? So let's go. I haven't boosted one in a while, so here we go. Here's one. I'm just trying to find a good one to show you. So if we click here, right, we actually go to the post. See this? So these people who don't already like my page. So I ran an ad, and this actually works whether you ran an ad or not, but I ran an ad, a bunch of people reacted to it. And so if I go back to that ad, so we see, 1 to 11 people reacted to this post. If we click that, I can actually click invite, and Facebook will actually send them a notification to come and like my Facebook page. That's called the invite hack. There's more videos on my Facebook page if you're ever interested. But I do hope that you please take advantage of this offer, and over $3,100 value. Again, 7 modules with over 40 video lessons, 4 weekly 1-hour check-in calls. I will build your first ad, 1,000 days of social media content, all the roadmaps, cheat sheets, and swipe files that I use myself, a total value of over $3,100 that I'm only giving away for a short time for $9.97. Any questions, please feel free to contact me. There should be a button below to check out the course. I hope this was helpful, and I hope to talk to you soon. So have a good one. We'll talk to you later.